Okay, West Jones, Wayne County. Here we are, Coach. You said in passing a while ago, Friday night in southeast Mississippi. This is what it's all about.
Ain't nothing like it. Nothing like high school football, and especially this great environment we have here tonight.
It's a great rivalry, of course. A lot of but it's also a big district game. Both teams coming here perfect in the district, so a lot of alignment for a postseason could be handled right here tonight.
Oh, no doubt about it. After tonight, there'll only be one team that's undefeated in the division, the two best teams right now are playing tonight, and look for a good ball game.
Got to address it. Looks like with some injury last week, our starting quarterback is down, and we got the sophomore stepping up. That's what are you doing? I mean, you play
right? Nothing because Coach, they do a good job in practice getting both our quarterbacks ready to play. David has experience. He's played in games. Offense is not going to change any. We hate it that Jarvis is not here with us. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. Had surgery on Wednesday. Everything came back great, and as long as we can keep playing, the longer we keep playing, bigger chance we got to get him back. But David's going to step in there tonight, and David's going to do good. He's ready to play. I mean, like I said, he's got experience, at playing quarterback. He's been in game situations, so it's nothing new to him.
Good deal. Now let's talk about these Mustangs for a minute. Offensively, they come in here putting about 35 points a game up, and they run the ball 270 yard on the ground, about 87 yard through the air. They don't have a lot of total yardage, but their passing averages are high.
Yeah, they are. I tell you what, another thing, if you'll look at their time of possession is pretty low too, because they score on big plays. They have a lot of long runs. You look, they'll have 50, 60, 70-yard runs, in a game. It's a big play offense. It's a big play run offense. They can throw the ball, but so far they've been going with the run. It's been good to them.
Kind of sounds a little bit like Wayne County, doesn't it?
It does. It's two very similar teams. It's going to get after it tonight. I was a part of when this thing got started back in 2003, and it's just as big, and it means just as much now as it did then.
Let's talk about the West Jones defense. They're giving up a little over 9 points a game. What kind of alignment are they going to run, and what are they going to do to come at your War Eagle offense?
Well, we'll see blitz. We won't see any more blitz just because we've got a young quarterback in there. They're going to blitz. They're going to pressure. We've got to do a good job of creating some space to run the football. We've got to do a good job of protecting our quarterback when we get ready to throw it. But, we've got to continue to be able to run and throw and do what we do. And I know, Coach has a great game plan in tonight, and we intend to do that.
All righty, Coach, thank you for your time for this big game tonight. We're going to wish you luck. We're going to take a break and be back with Kenny and Paul after this word from our sponsors.
When you sit down at Pop's Seafood and Steakhouse, they bring out the homemade coleslaw, hush puppies, and the family recipe cheese sauce for dipping. Everybody already knows that Pop's has the best all-you-can-eat catfish. But have you tried the blackened or regular ribeye? Ooh, there's nothing like it. Come on Saturday, watch college football, eat lunch, or grab an appetizer. Oh yeah, and don't forget to book Pop's for your private parties.
Come join us at Pop's.
And bring your family too.
One more time, Wayne County, West Jones. This is as big as it gets for Wayne County. I mean, it's a big rivalry, and again, a lot on the line always when these two teams play. If not, it's like pride and passion wasn't enough, but there's always playoff ramifications associated with this game, and Paul's going to be another big night in so-so.
Yeah, it's funny. At the start of the season, everybody said West Jones was going to be down. It was going to be a rebuilding year. They kind of hinted that Wayne County was going to be in a similar situation, but look, we're midway through the district race already, and look who's risen to the top, these same two teams. And as Jim Ross would say on WWE, this looks like it's going to be a slobber knocker tonight.
Kenny, as slobber knockers are not a foreign issue when these two teams get together. And we come over here, and I don't recall but one time since this thing started, like Coach Mangum referred to in his interview back in '03, that Wayne County's been able to come over here and get a win but one time.
It's been tough, and the only thing they've rebuilt over here, I think, is a concession stand. I mean, everything else just picks up where they left off. Yeah, it's a tough place to play. We've talked about several places that we've been over the years. Certainly, it's hard to say, is this place harder to play at Brookhaven? I'd say yeah, because we hadn't had as much success here. We won several times at Brookhaven, but we hadn't had the same luck here. So tonight, the biggest thing we've got to do is contain their running game. And if we can do that and force them to throw the football, they hadn't done a lot of that this year. They're averaging about 7 throws a game. So defensively, if we can force them to have to throw the football, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 8, I mean, something long, then I like our chances. And offensively, we've got to move the ball consistently. And I think one of the things that will help us tonight is that David Hodo's a pretty decent quarterback as a sophomore. And certainly, we lose our punting game and our athletic quarterback, but David's a pretty good ball player in his own right. He runs the ball hard downfield. He doesn't put a lot of fancy moves on folks. He just goes upfield. He's got a strong arm. And we've got, I think if there's an advantage offensively, it's our advantage in athletes that can catch a football.
We're talking about that. Let's look over at Wayne County's defense, Paul. We started out, we knew that was the secondary would be our strong point coming in, and then these defensive line, we talked about the tackles getting closer to the line of scrimmage each week, and when we put that first unit in at the start of the second quarter, it kind of shut things down last week. Going to need a big game out of them tonight.
Yeah, and they're banged up. They got the whole defense. I mean, the secondary, the linemen, I think everybody but the linebackers got beat up last week against Macomb, so it's going to be interesting to see how much they're able to do. I mean, they've had a week to heal, but sometimes they don't heal all that much. And getting back to something that Kenny was talking about with David Hodo, yes, a very, very good quarterback, a good athlete, but the best thing that could happen to him is on that first snap, just go ahead and get hit hard, get the butterflies out, pick yourself up and say, okay, here we go, now I'm ready, because he's got to be a little bit nervous tonight.
I got a feeling that's not going to be a problem. If history is any indication. One thing he does, and he's going to need to do tonight, is he sets up and throws the ball quick. So that could be in his favor. Any closing thoughts before we get ready to kick this thing off?
Well, I mean, physically, we talk about they're beat up, and part of that's pressure wounds from being held so much last week. I mean, you couldn't tell who was the D lineman out there at times, between us and Macomb's offensive line. But the biggest key tonight, I think, is going to be if we respond and we get physical like we did last week. And that was the one thing to me that stood out about last week's football game. Macomb came into Wayne County. They were physical. They hit hard. They tried to slap you around. And our kids stepped up and responded and gave them everything that they got plus some. So tonight, that's also going to be key in this football game. We have got to play a physical football game.
Well, there it is. It's on the table and on the line tonight. Wayne County War Eagles and the Mustangs. So we're going to take a few moments to hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back with a kickoff as the Mustangs host your Wayne County High School War Eagles. See you after the break.
If you're talking barbecue in Waynesboro, you're talking Huff and Puff Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked, seasoned barbecue. That looks good. Let Huff and Puff cater your next event. From 20 to 620, we do it all. We can deliver, we can serve. Our delicious barbecue is guaranteed to make any event a hit. Take out or dine in, it's all good at Huff and Puff Smokehouse. For faster service, call ahead.
Well, welcome to our halftime stat report. Compliments of Paul the Machine Keane in the Wayne County News. Paul's been down there working hard during the first half, as he always does, keeping us up to date with things and keeping our stats. And he's taking a much-deserved halftime break, and he's handed off the paperwork to Kenny and I. And so we got some statistics for you here. Let's look at our first downs. Wayne County High School has 2 first downs in the first half. A negative 14 yards rushing on 9 attempts. Of course, those snaps over the head accounted for that. We've completed 2 out of 6 passes for 51 yards and a touchdown. We've fumbled the ball once but haven't lost it. We've been penalized 3 times for 20 yards, and we've been averaging 4 punts, 38 yards, and we got 38-yard average and 41 return yards. 2 of 6 on third down conversions, 0 of 1 on fourth down conversions. We've had time of possession 6 minutes and 48 seconds. West Jones High School has 12 first downs and 132 yards on 31 carries. They're 4 for 7 passing with 1 interception, and they've got 36 yards passing. They've had 1 fumble and lost it, so we're +2 on the giveaway takeaway so far in the first half tonight. In the first half so far in the game. The penalties, they've been penalized twice for 10 yards, punted once for 35 yards. They have 18 return yards. They're 7 out of 10 on their third down conversions, and Paul and Keane and I were talking down there a while ago, and West Jones is not really doing well on first down or second down, but they're just getting big plays on third down and converting those third downs. So they haven't tried any fourth down conversions yet, and they've had the ball for 17 minutes and 12 seconds. We were talking to Coach Mangum in the pregame show, and he was talking about, interesting stat, we were talking about the big play potential they had, and he said they go along with that, they don't have the ball very much. And, we kind of talked about being mirror images because Wayne County over the past few years typically has not been a time of possession football team, quick strike. Well, West Jones hasn't been quick strike tonight. They have had to grind out everything they've gotten, and it's taken them a lot of time to do it. That hence the 17 minutes and 12 seconds of time of possession. Keenan Fuqua has 11 tackles. Levan Bonner has 8. Gary Myers has 7. And Shendrick Malone has 7 tackles tonight. So those guys have been really, really busy. There's 2 of the top leading tacklers are a linebacker, and we got a linebacker with 11. And, of course, Myers, a defensive lineman, with 7 tackles, and 2 defensive backs with 8 and 7. So I guess that's some of that third down success that West Jones having, kind of stretching that tackling zone a little further down the field. But anyhow, it is 7-7 after a half of play over here at Mustang Field, and Wayne County somewhat dodged the bullet there to close that half out when West Jones had a 1st and goal down there inside the 5 and couldn't get it in. So they'll be getting the ball to start the second half, and Wayne County can maybe break serve to start with and start to assert themselves for a sole position atop the district. So we're going to take a break and be back for the second half of football over here between the Mustangs of West Jones and your Wayne County High School War Eagles. See you after the break.
If you're talking barbecue in Waynesboro, you're talking Huff and Puff Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked, seasoned barbecue. That looks good. Let Huff and Puff cater your next event. From 20 to 620, we do it all. We can deliver, we can serve. Our delicious barbecue is guaranteed to make any event a hit. Take out or dine in, it's all good at Huff and Puff Smokehouse. For faster service, call ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you what a football game. We're on the field over at Mustang Field. Coach Mangum, this century, there's only been one Wayne County High School victory in football on this field. This is the second one, and this is a monumental win for this football program. As many as big ones as there have been, this is right in there with all of them.
It's great. It's great to be able to, come over here in this great environment on the road. It almost felt like home because we had such a big following here and big crowd support. But I'm so proud for our players and our coaches being able to come over here in this environment and being able to win a big game like we did tonight.
We're going to talk defense first. I mean, you know it. We've talked about it from the stands. Not a single first down did your defense allow West Jones in that second half. Not a single first down.
Well, I just know the 11 guys at a time on defense that played with great effort, great passion for 24 minutes in the second half there, and it just the effort that they played with is just outstanding.
Second half offensively, ran the ball well. and a sophomore quarterback first start, 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And we had some receivers to make some big catches in the second half, some on possession downs, on third down. We had some really big plays, some big throws by David, and some big catches by our receivers. Did a great job being able to keep the ball and keep the chains moving.
What did you tell your players at halftime?
At halftime, I told them, I said, guys, we talked about adversity. Anything that could happen has already happened, but we've got to be able to go out and for 24 more minutes play with great effort and great passion, and we'll take the good and the bad, but we've got to go out and play for 24 more minutes, and if it takes more, we will. But for 24 minutes, those guys played their hearts out.
I've heard it said that you find out the measure of a man when you squeeze. You find out what's in him when you squeeze him. Nathaniel Smith got squeezed hard in that first half. He had some problems with those snaps, but I tell you what, I was congratulating him after the game. He stepped up and made it happen in the second half.
No doubt about it. We just they didn't, and we just kept on and kept on, and that's the mark of our players and our coaches, being able to take those guys and coach them and still, come on, let's go. We can get it done. We can do it. And our coaches and players did such a great job.
One final remark. For the last 3 weeks, you've been talking about how many unbeatens were in the district, and it kept getting smaller and smaller. And last Friday night, after you win over an undefeated Macomb team, you said there's 2 left. Tonight, to start this game, you said there's 2 left, and after tonight's going to be 1. Well, guess what? That 1 left is your Wayne County High School Warriors.
Yeah, now there's 1, but we've got to go back, and just like we talked about right there in the post-game huddle, we got to come back Monday and grind again. It's just our motto has been, let's win 1 game a week. And we've been able to get on a stretch and win 1 game a week, and we want to just continue to do that, and it'll be back to the grind on Monday.
Well, again, congratulations on a big victory, and now back to work to go to Brookhaven next week, right?
South Jones.
Okay.
South Jones at home. It'll be senior night.
Okay.
So we want to honor those guys, and our last regular season home game of the season. So we want to make sure our fans are there, loud and proud, just like they were tonight, just like they always are, and we hope to do this thing again.
Thanks so much, and congratulations. For Coach Todd Mangum, I'm Marshall Wood. We're going to take a break and be back with K-Dog Kebney and Paul the Machine for a final wrap-up of another big Wayne County High School War Eagle victory over the West Jones Mustangs. See you after the break.
If you're talking barbecue in Waynesboro, you're talking Huff and Puff Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked, seasoned barbecue. That looks good. Let Huff and Puff cater your next event. From 20 to 620, we do it all. We can deliver, we can serve. Our delicious barbecue is guaranteed to make any event a hit. Take out or dine in, it's all good at Huff and Puff Smokehouse. For faster service, call ahead.
Well, Paul, you handed me a pitiful-looking stat sheet at halftime. You was so bad, you didn't even want to talk about it. Boy, I tell you what, I don't want to think about you, but now what you got to say for the War Eagles?
I was thirsty and had to go to the bathroom at halftime. Marshall, all you need to know, second half, West Jones, 16 total yards of offense and no first downs. You can't ask for more out of a defense. I mean, I'm sure Todd Mangum and his staff will ask more from the defense, but you really can't. Real quick, 17 for Wayne County, 17 first downs, 157 yards rushing. David Hodo, 9 of 15 passing for 147 yards, a couple of scores. 4 penalties, 4 punts for 38-yard average. Hodo doing the punting. 41 return yards, 7 of 14 on third downs. Time of possession, 21:53. Individually, Greg Miller, 17 carries, 91 yards. Hodo, 11 for 56. DJ Sims, 8 for 45. Hodo with all the passing. Farikis Walker, 4 catches for 54 yards. DeJarvis Chambers, 1 for 51. Joseph McLaughlin, 3 for 33. Defense are for West Jones. Most of these in the first half, 12 first downs, 41 carries for 141 yards, 6 of 15 passing with an interception for 37 yards, 1 fumble, they lost it, 8 penalties, 5 punts, 45 return yards, 7 of 15 on third downs, 0 of 1 on fourth downs. Defensively, Keane and Fuqua, 15 tackles, a recovered fumble, and a pass breakup. Gary Myers, 11 tackles, a quarterback pressure, and a pass breakup. Levon Bonner, 8 tackles and interception. Hayden Shelby, Kentrell Mayfield, and Ronald Ollie all with 8 tackles each. Ronald Ollie with a sack, and he was all over me at the end of the game wanting to be player of the week. So,
well, he's not bashful.
No, he never has been.
Kenny, let's talk defense. We started this season off, and we had a young bunch of defense guys, and they were maligned early. They were run on early. Bought a powerful running game here tonight. This defense is just blossomed into it's come from an ugly old caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. I guess that's a strange analogy, but it's a thing of beauty tonight.
I'm going to tell you, we had 2 quarters of offense for Wayne County. We had 4 quarters of solid defense. Even on the score West had down here on the end zone, the ball came off another player. Keys happened to be standing there when the ball came down, caught it, went in the end zone. You can't say enough about him. That linebacker core has grown up. That defensive front, there's 6 or 7 guys that are playing up there on this down lineman. We talked about it first of the year about how young they were and about how they felt like they would come along. And with Todd Mangum coaching, Bubba Davis is a D-line coach. You're seeing those years of coaching experience through these kids, because what they're doing is they're taking a bunch of kids that didn't have a lot of experience, a lot of playing time, especially starting as varsity, and you have seen them week after week progress. And I thought I saw their best football game last week when they physically answered Macomb, and it beat us up. I mean, we talked about they were beat up some physically, but we also said that it's one thing to get beat up as an offensive player, but it's another thing when you get beat up defensively. That's not quite as bad, because you either do 2 things: you either get better or you get worse. And we got better. And we set foot on this football field tonight. Now, we gave up a lot of yards in the first half, and they were 7 of 10 on third downs in the first half, but they never broke that great big play that they've done all year long. We shut their passing game down for the most part. And I'm rambling here a bit, but I mean, there's just so many things that we did defensively tonight. But you got to say this: in the second half, we came out and we not only were physical, we were smart, because we found the football, we went to it, and that's why they were 0 for 5 on third down conversions second half, because we played smart defensive football and we knocked the daylights out of folks when we got there.
I'll tell you what, he may be rambling, but he'll take that kind of defensive performance tomorrow when Mississippi State plays Tennessee. I guarantee you, if the Bulldogs play that way.
Paul, we mentioned this, and this is only the second time this century that a Wayne County team, and we brought some pretty good football teams over here. There's only the second time this century that Wayne County's won a football game on this field.
Yeah, and that's big, especially with a young team. It just gives you a whole boost of confidence. And I don't mean to downplay the final 3 opponents, but let's be honest, South Jones, Brookhaven, and Stone probably aren't going to match up quite as well as the West Jones and Macomb and Meridian, Petal. I mean, this team has got to just be brimming with confidence. And now the real coaching comes in. Yeah. Don't let them take a step back. As Todd Mangum always says, if you ain't moving forward, you're moving backwards. And if you're standing still, you're moving backwards. And that's going to be the challenge these next 3 weeks.
Well,